Hi, and welcome to another Pavvo's Play-by-Play. Today I'm going to be walking through Card City Nights. It's a new collectible card game. It's already been released for Android and Steam, and this is the first time we're seeing it on the iOS platform. I'll walk you through a really standard gameplay of Card City Nights, and then I'll tell you my opinions about it. Hey, in Cloud City Nights, you play as a college student or a student of some sort, uh, going through this world. And when you go around the world, you get to meet people and you battle them with cards. And if you win, you get booster packs to augment your deck. It is only single player right now. The story mode is a bit simple in my opinion. The card game itself is also simple, but it has a lot of depth to it, and a lot of strategy is required to actually go through the game, especially in the later levels. I haven't played much yet, but there were a couple of times where I had to go back and replay and redo my deck just to get through the mission. Okay. There's no any form of in-app currency, or rather in-app purchases for this game. Whatever currency you earn in the game is only gotten through the game. You cannot buy it with real money. Okay. And the only way to get cards, there are two ways to get cards. You get cards by either defeating your opponent and they give you booster packs, or you can go to the shop and buy individual cards. Okay, I'll just run through a very quick gameplay how the game works. Okay, most games are played best out of 1, 3 or 5 depending on the match itself. You can, as you see, customize up to 6 different types of decks, and you choose which one you want to bring in whenever you play the game. Okay, as you can see, the game is played on a 3x3 square board. Okay, your opponent has one board and you have one board. Okay, there are two ways to win this game. Okay, there are two ways to win this game. You either reduce your opponent's life to 0, which is at the bottom right of the screen, bottom left for yourself, or you play until somebody cannot put a card down on the board and that person will lose. Okay, so how gameplay works is that you draw a card and then you place a card anywhere on your board. Okay, if you look at the cards that I have right now, okay, there are 4 different types of symbols in this game. You have the red swords, which are attack. You have the blue shields, which are defense, or in this case, heal back your health. You have the green crosses, which are revive cards, and you have these orange circles, which are neutral cards. Okay. Every card has a certain number of arrows, which denote which card it can connect to. Okay. Let's say, for example, if I were to put my Princess Peach DX in the middle of the board, you see now that the next card I place, if it is at the top or at the bottom and it has a connecting arrow, will trigger that card to happen to activate. Okay. A set of cards can only activate if they have 3 or more symbols connected. Okay. So Princess Peach, in this example, she has 2 swords. All I need is one of any other symbol connected to her and the card's ability will trigger. What each set of symbols does is dependent on which symbols appear the most. Okay, so if for example I have 3 red swords, by placing mark at the top, if I have 3 red swords right now, you can see the arrows match, the set will trigger and I can deal 3 damage to my opponent. Okay. These 3 damage can either be directly to his health or to any card on the board. Okay, if a card on the board takes damage, it will get deactivated, meaning its arrows and its special ability will not trigger. Okay. If I put the portal wand here, you see it will also trigger, but right now, because it has 2 red swords and 1 shield, the red swords will trigger, allowing me to deal 2 damage to either my opponent or one of his cards on the table. Okay. Neutral cards do not count for anything, so if you have 3 neutral cards in 3 orange circle symbols, nothing will happen. But if you pair them up with any other symbol, no, those symbols will trigger based on majority. Okay, if you have the same number of symbols, if you have, say for example, 2 red sword and 2 blue shield in the same set of combo, you get to choose which of those trigger. Okay, so for now I'm trying to do maximum damage. I'll just put mark up here, okay, which allows me to deal damage to my opponent. Okay, let's try and see what I can do. Okay, the Luxurious Tunic is quite an interesting card. As you can see, it has 4 arrows, so it will activate if any cards are placed on these 4 sides. However, you do note that it says placement disable this card. What this means is that if I were to place it, you'll see that it gets grayed out, meaning it's disabled. I need to find a way to enable this card. And how you enable cards are with the green cross icons. I don't have any right now, there's not any on the board, but once it appears I'll let you know. I'll just put mark here first in case my green cross comes up. Opponent has yellow sword, so he deals me damage. I'm sorry, red sword, so he starts to deal me damage. Okay. Let's see if I can get my green crosses to come out. It's a huge risk taken right now. So okay, in case it doesn't come out, I will have to wait. That's fine. I've got a backup just in case it doesn't come out. Okay, if you look, if I place my robot elf here, you see that it starts to form a chain of 2 orange circles and 1 red sword. Okay, orange circles don't count for anything, so in this case I have 1 red sword, which I can deal 1 damage to my opponent, but in this case I'll just disable his card. So he needs a way to enable it to get it back. Okay, like, there you go, the old man. That was what I was trying to achieve as well. Okay. So there you go, I've managed to link the old man up to the rod, which gives me 3 symbols, and the symbol which has the majority is the green cross icon, the revive, which I'll then use to revive my Luscious Turnip, which will then trigger the turnip to combo with Mark and the fire sword. And I'll deal damage to my opponent's health. Okay, it looks like I will try and win the game with my Fishburn, unless he heals again. Nope, so here we go. Yep. And that's Card City Knights in a nutshell. Very simple to play game. The complexity comes when you build your deck. Okay, every time you win you get a booster pack, which gives you a lot more cards to augment your deck with. You can also buy individual cards, okay, by going to the store, and this will give you an option of buying cards. You earn gold through defeating your opponents as well, okay, which will to augment your deck. Each deck holds a minimum of 25 cards. Okay, you can of course add more if you want. Pink cards are uncommon, you can only have 3 of each in your deck. Brown cards are common, you can have 5 of those. Yellow cards are rare, you can only have 1 of each rare in your deck. And the foil legendaries, you see like Princess Peach, you can only have 1 legendary in your deck at any one time. Alright, that's Card City Knights, a fairly simple yet strategic card game. Story mode's pretty okay. Like the different effects that the card have. Some as you get deeper and deeper into the game, you see the cards have a bit more combo to them, and some of them have less arrows, less connections, but they have more special abilities. What I think this game really needs is a multiplayer mode where you can challenge your friends, because it's turn-based, so I don't see how time can be much of a factor. Okay, it's not a real-time card game, it's a turn-based card game. I think once they add multiplayer mode into this and beef it up a bit with you know, maybe an online leaderboard or something like that, this game could really start to flesh out. I'll post a link to download Cloud City Nights just below this video. Okay, that's been Card City Nights. Thank you for watching Pavvo's Play by Play.